Hey everybody, this is Diana from the Misfit Journal Maker, and I had one of my group ask me about how to attach pages into a journal. Now, I wasn't quite sure if she was asking about a composition notebook where you use washi tape or other means to attach additional pages in. So I'm not real sure. I never really do that because I haven't had much luck with that. And washi tape is notorious for kind of coming up, so that's not something I really want to do. And I don't want to have to also do extra steps by putting glue on the washi tape to then glue onto the pages. It's just a lot of work that I don't want to do. But you know, some people might want to do that. That's great. So I realized that on my YouTube, I did not have a tutorial on how to put a simple signature together. I'm working on this. This is the second journal of two that I just happened to throw together because it just called to me. I picked out the my favorite digitals out of that group, and I made them the cover. It's not done by any means. It has a lot of stuff still that needs to happen to it, but I just went ahead and sewed my journal together. So as easy as it is to sew together at this point, because there's no ephemera in it, it is just as easy to take apart. So I decided that I would come in here and I would take it apart and put it back together so that we can do a simple and easy tutorial on how to put this together. Now, this particular, you know, you gotta excuse me. Around here anymore, it's dogs barking or people sawing or something. So if you hear noise, I'm really sorry. There's not a lot I can do about it. I live in a mobile home park. They're repairing one. They're putting some in. It's a mess. So anyway, just ignore it. Hopefully it won't be too much. Okay, so you can put any pages in a journal, okay? This journal and all of my journals are 8.5, 11 pages, and they are folded in half, okay, which makes my journal very easy. So any pages that you buy that are 8.5 by 11 are so simple to just fold them in half and create a journal. You can put as many pages as you want, and you can make as many signatures as you want, depending on what type of cover you're using. This is a thicker, very thick cardboard cover that I used to use all the time. I love this type of journal. I didn't want to make her two journals that were exactly the same, so I decided to go my old school and also to continue with my newer style. I didn't want them both to be the same because that would have been kind of boring. This one I did not use any of the kit because she saved up all her beautiful and cute and darling bee stuff for a long time. She had a collection she sent me, and I kind of want to just use these pages to you know, have those be the star of the show. So anyway, okay, so what you do is once you have your pages all together and you know this is how many you want in here and folded and everything like that, what you do is get yourself some of these little clips. You can also use paper clips. I like to use these because they just work a little bit better not to like mess with the pages. So on one side, you just want to make sure you have everything in here tight, okay? And then I'm going to put one here on the other side. Okay, now another thing you can do, this is optional, but I did do it. I took my ruler, which my brother borrowed and didn't put back in the same place. Let me see if I can get it. Okay. So I take my handy dandy metal ruler, which I love, because it has this cork board which makes it not slip. If you're going to do this, you don't put the clips on first. You put the clips on after, and don't use your cover. So let me take that off just so you can get a good. Okay, so we're going to take our cover away here, and here's my signature. Okay, so what I do is I take the first page as my, and I hope everybody can see, as my guide, okay? And I put it right at the edge here. Now, there was a bunch of papers out here, but I already cut them off. So then I take my utility knife, okay? And I just go down right against the edge of the ruler and keep going over and over and over until they're all gone. You don't want to be fast at that. You just want to do it like, even like if it feels like it's one at a time, that's fine. Because if you get too much, it's going to pull and rip the pages. So you just want to you know, go against your ruler and just keep going down until it goes to the bottom. And it's best with this, when I'm doing that, I always cut off my blade and have a new fresh blade so that it's nice and sharp. Okay, so that's, I can't give you that because I've already done it, but that's how you do it. It's very easy. And if you do have pages that are a little bit, you know, they're not so smooth or whatever, I then take, and this is also optional, a lot of people don't cut them. They just leave them like as is sticking out, and that's fine. But I take a sandpaper block and I just go like this. And I like it because it makes it very smooth here. And any rough edges that are there, takes them right off. Okay? So that's another thing, is these blocks are really handy for this, and I use them all the time. Okay. So we're going to pretend that we already cut this off. We've sanded it down, and now we're going to put it in our cover. And you want to make sure everything is tight, okay? And you want to make sure that in the middle, and now I hope I didn't mess the pages all up because I had everything lined up. Okay. Let me check here real quick. I want to make sure that my ones that are tinier are centered. That's if I can find them. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Also, because I've already have holes here, I don't want to have anything go through a different hole. So hopefully we're okay with that. Okay, so we're going to go back, like I said, press in the center, put back our clamps or your paper clips, okay? All right, from this point, I have a little kit that I got on Amazon at least 8 to 10 years ago. I'd say it's more than 10. And this is what it is. They still have this kit. I think it's around $8, $8.99. And it comes with this, I picked up somewhere along the way, but it comes with 3 great big rolls of wax thread. Okay, brown, black, and tan. Of course, you can tell tan's the one I use the most. It comes with these little scissors. It comes with a little thing of needles. It comes with an owl. Okay, which I'm going to show you what to do with this right now. And it came with, I'm not sure if it came with a couple of these clips or not. I really don't know because I've added stuff to this over the years. But that's the main things, okay? And I don't even use this little cutter. I just use my scissors, so you don't have to use that. Okay, so that is a really good thing to have because, like I said, I've been using it for, I believe it's about 10 years. And I've never used any other thread but these, and there's still tons of it left. So it's a good deal. Okay, so of course, I'm going to, I think I'm going to use the brown because I'm kind of running out of my tan. So I'm going to switch it up and use brown. So when you're doing this, you want to measure your string 3 times the width of your book. Okay, and I always go over because you cannot put back, but you can take off. Okay, so when you get to 3 times, you're just going to cut it off. Okay. And then we're going to get you can choose whatever size needle you like out of your stash of needles there. And then we're going to go ahead and thread this. Okay, now we got the string ready. Now, our little awl here, which is, I call it, it sounds like, you say it like A-L-L, but it's spelled with an O, I think. Like owl. I don't know. Anyway, it's up to you how you want to say it. So on this kind of, where I'm only doing one signature, I eyeball it. So I eyeball the middle, and I go, okay, this is where I want it. I fold the book, as you know, you can't go all the way with the owl, but I kind of fold like this, and then I push it through. And you want to push it through quite a bit because you're going to want to get your needle through there, and it's going to have a bigger head on it. So then I pull it out, and then I go over here to the side, and I don't like mine way up here. I like it closer to the bottom. It's preference, okay? And now this feels off, like it doesn't want to go through. Okay, and then you do the same here. As you can see, the needle goes through, and you just push through, and you pull it back out. And then you do the same at the top. Actually, this is upside down. Whatever, the top, bottom, still the same. And like you can see here, push it through. Okay, so now we've got our 3 holes. Okay, so what we're going to do then is we're going to start with our middle hole. Okay, and from the inside, and you're going to go through the middle. And I always have trouble with this. Don't ask me why, because the hole's already there. But for some reason, it always becomes a problem. Like, I didn't have this problem for the first time I put it through. So let's see here. There we go. Okay, so see how we have it? It's coming through. Okay, so then you want to come outside and you want to go through the bottom. Okay, so I kind of try to keep my book closed so that it will go through the same holes instead of getting caught, which thank goodness it went straight through. See what I mean? That's why you want to go through with that owl, because it is a little tight and you're going to have to pull if you don't go far enough, which I don't know why this is giving me trouble. It shouldn't, but it is. So I don't know what's going on here. And I don't want to make a mess of my book. Come on. There we go. And it doesn't matter if it comes undone, just rethread it. Well, I don't know what was up with that. These have already been sewed, so I shouldn't have trouble right there. Okay. Okay, so you're going to want to leave enough thread over here. Okay, don't pull it all the way. Then you're going to skip the middle and you're going to go to the top. Okay, same thing. You want to shut your book and then go through there. See, it came through pretty easy on that one, thank goodness. Okay, and then you want to pull through. Okay, then you're going to go to the middle from the outside and you want to go through the same hole, but you don't want to go through the thread. Okay, which that went through pretty easily. See there? But you don't want to go through your previous thread. You got to make sure you don't go through that, because that's not good. Okay, then you pull that off. Okay, and then you want to make sure you have it tight. So check out here and make sure that this is tight and there's no, like, you know, there's no give. But you don't want to pull so tight that you rip the paper. Okay, here on your these two, you want one on each side of your middle. Okay, and then you're going to take it and you're going to do 1 knot, and then you're going to go to the opposite direction and do 2 knots, and then go back to the regular way and do 3. Okay, and you can leave this in case the person wants to put beads, or you want to put beads. Actually, be more like me. Got a little bit of paper there I don't exactly like, but it's okay. And if you want to, you can actually add a charm here. Sometimes I put stuff, sometimes I leave it for the person who's going to get the journal. It's, you know, it just depends. And then we pull off our little things here, and there you are. And it's all nicely put together. Okay, easy peasy. It might take you a few times to get used to it. I always, when I'm putting my holes with the owl and I'm putting my needle through, I always try to close the book as much as I can, because I've noticed if I leave it like this, it tends to not want to go through the same holes and make new holes in the pages, and you don't want that to happen. So I, you know, take it to as far as I can. And like I was talking about using all different papers, because it's bees, I put some yellow paper in here, and all I did was just fold it in half. Now, if you have like paper that is lined, and the lines are going to be across. I just thought of this, and I think I'm going to make a journal like this because I think it would be pretty cool. It just came to me today when I was thinking about it. If you've got lined papers, okay, this is this doesn't count because this is music paper, but just pretend. If you've got like notebook paper style, but it doesn't have holes, but you want to make a journal, and if you put it in the book like this, the lines are going to be this way instead of this way. So I was thinking, and I'm going to do this, okay? I'm going to make a journal that has a cover that faces this way so that my journal opens like this. And I'm going to go through like this. And I've never seen anyone do that, but I thought it would be really cool. And I just want to try it so that I have a journal, you know, that, say if I have pages through here that have lines, I can just continue writing, you know. So I think that would be kind of cool. I'm going to try that. So that's another way that you can do that. But anyway, yeah, it's super easy to do it this way. And, you know, I prefer this than doing a hidden spine, because a hidden spine, you have got to line your, you've got to line your holes up for each signature perfectly. Because if it's off and you put it into the cover of a gutted book, you're going to have problems. So, and I don't know what it is. I am not good at making templates for that. So it's not my favorite thing to do. That's why I've learned this new method. I learned from Treasure Books, and it is a fabric spine, and all of the pages, because of the way it's made, lay completely flat like this. And it's just gorgeous. I love the way it comes out. So that's like my new thing. But I still love this type of journal, my old way that I used to make them with the thick cardboard covers. And I'm excited to do this because I haven't done one of these in quite some time. And I'm going to be adding lace to the spine. I may add trim around too. I'm not sure. I don't know what kind of closure I'm going to get. This is as far as I've gotten on it. I added some bags. People also make journals out of these bags. I don't really like that. I think it's not very sturdy, and I wouldn't do it, but they're very cute. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. If you have any questions about this, you can come to my group and ask me in the Facebook group, the Misfit Journal Maker, or just write them in the comments below the video that I'm going to post of this. And like I said, this kit is available on Amazon. It's still there, a version of it, and it's, like I said, it's under $10, and it's well worth it because it's like, you can tell this box is like been taped, and it's, yeah, it's pretty it's pretty worn and used. And you can pick up, this is a wax thread. I don't know where it came from. I picked it up somewhere along the way, another wax thread that just popped up somewhere, and you can get them pretty cheap and just add them to your collection if you want to use different colors. I don't really use different colors because I always like to cover my my spines with lace. I like to make them pretty. So, but that's, you know, everybody has their own way. So also, I wanted to just let you know, these are also from Amazon. They come in a box of like 12 or something like that. And I remember when I first got them thinking, I will never go through these. There's no way. But you do, because you want to have a sharp blade. So I continuously am like, I'm almost out right now. I need to buy a new box. And I like this brand. I don't even know what brand it is. I guess I'll just have to look for the yellow and black. Wait. Yeah, there's nothing that says what it is. So, but yeah, you know, you just have to keep cutting them off because it's important to have a very sharp blade. What else? Is there anything else I need to tell you guys while I'm talking about this? You can also, if you don't have the thread, you can also use embroidery thread. I've done that. It works. Just make sure that you have enough so that it's sturdy. And also, if you don't have the owl, if you have an ice pick, you know, you could use that. Anything that has a sharp point that will get you through the pages. That's all you need. You don't have to go out and buy an owl. You don't have to go out and buy thread. I wouldn't suggest using thread, like use a sewing machine, unless you used like maybe four or five pieces of it together. And I don't know how that would work. I just wouldn't suggest doing that. I don't know if people have done that, but it has to be some type of thicker thread of some type. So But I do know a lot of people use embroidery thread, and that's something a lot of people have hanging around. I know I had a whole thing of it from my mom. She used to embroider. So, you know, you could ask your grandmother, your aunt, somebody in your family and say, hey, do you have some extra? And someone will probably have it. As far as the needles go, these are just bigger, like so you can get the thread through. But also, you know, that's something else that you could, I'm sure if you have a needle that's bigger than one you'd use to sew clothing is what you need. But that's why that kit is so great, because it comes with everything and it's fairly cheap. So I think that's all for today. If you have questions, like I said, get a hold of me. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube, I'd love to have you. And if you hit the like button, that'd be really great. And also come visit us on our Facebook site. And we have, everybody shows what they're making, their projects, tutorials and videos of, you know, journals. We're all about journals and ephemera. I don't have, in my group, I don't allow like sticker books, scrapbooks, art books, because I want to be set apart and have just journals. My love is for the journal. So there's plenty of groups on Facebook that allow everything and anything, and they call it a journal, and that's great and wonderful. But if you're a journal lover like me, and you're all about the ephemera and the writing space and, you know, that type of thing, then we're the group for you. So, and if not, just check us out. So anyhow, I hope everybody has a wonderful evening, and until next time.